Instagram, and all those other good joints you might be watching the show on. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. It's about that time, y'all. And tonight is debate night. Debate night, everybody. So I'm sure you guys are going to be watching that after you finish watching Kevin from Kevin's Corner. That's right. I'm going to be done before the debate. I believe it starts at 9. So yeah. Now, if this is your first time joining my live stream, please hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all of the other platforms that I'm connected to, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel and make sure your notification button is turned on to all. And and have a good time. That's the other thing. Just have a good time. And then I like to make sure that my mic is on and it's working right. Is my mic right? Can y'all hear me? Is my mic tight? Is it working right tonight? Oh, is it out of sight? Is it exploding like dynamite? Yeah, man. I'll keep going if you want me to. Somebody said, come in 6 times 6. Okay, check, key, check. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Don? All right, well, if that's the case, then we might as well not tarry. Let's go ahead and get busy. What? Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man. So now, before we get into tonight's live stream, want to let you know I do have a store, a Kevin's Corner store. What's happening, Heather? She said, hi, Kev. Yeah. Earl said, Terry not Kevineth. That's right. You guys are great. But yeah, I do have a Kevin's Corner store. You can check out the merch. Got all kind of stuff in there. And that number on your screen, Kevin's, if you text MAGA to that number, 330-974-4607, that will keep you connected to me just in case they try to get rid of me because they don't like the hurtful things I say about the Democrats. You know, you never know. And if you ever want to support my channel in other ways, you can do that through my Cash App or my PayPal. I have those links listed below as well. Now, Chameleon Kamala Harris has been prepping for this debate. Now, you know she got the butterflies. You know right about now she got the bubble guts. It's almost showtime. It's almost game time. And she ain't been practicing. She ain't been working out. Nah, man. I mean, it's like she done went through the whole off season. Ain't did no cardio. Ain't lift no weights. And now here it is, the first game. And she ain't even got a snap. She ain't even took one snap. So now she just got to go out there cold and out of shape. And hopefully, you know, she's like, I just hope that I don't get killed on the stage tonight. And they've already started to kind of make excuses out there. Chameleon, she's at a disadvantage. And, you know, she's new to this. Trump's a masterful debater. All of a sudden, they're praising him as being a masterful debater because they probably are thinking this could go very bad. It's better to go ahead and promise and over deliver than over promise and under deliver. So they're probably getting ready for that. And they probably have some issues because see, some of the things that someone like Kamala would need to be successful in a debate, she couldn't get them. Being able to sit down so she can sit there and stare down at the table at her notes. Having notes, that's another one. This woman ain't memorizing stuff like that. See, the problem is when you don't have your own policies, when things don't come out of your head and they're other people's ideas, one, you have a hard time really being able to commit that to memory. And two, you have a hard time explaining it because you're explaining it as a third person in a sense. So you're sitting there trying to make it make sense, but you're uncomfortable or not confident with the concept because you're going, this ain't even my baby. I mean, all right, I got to sit back now and break down my economic policy, which I don't really know nothing about economics. I'm Kamala Harris, man. They stuck me up in this mug because I'm evil. All right. So what you want me to do? I'm not an economist. I don't know nothing about running the government. And she's proven that. But now she got to get out there and address these things as if she knows what she's talking about. But not only that, but she has to explain her record, or should I say lack thereof, and the policies that are currently in place or was put in place and then say, well, these policies worked, they didn't work. This is why we did these things, and I'm going to do something different. And then the next question would be, why are you doing something different if the policies worked? So you know you're not going to come out there and trash all of you and Creepy Sleepy's policies. Yeah, because Bidenomics, it was working. It was working. But now you got to come out there and try to give the people hope from your policies that you've been claiming are great. We're doing a great job. So I know she's going to be like, we've been doing a great job, but there's still work to be done. You know that's coming. It's going to still work to be done. And then, of course, it's probably going to be directed towards Trump. He's an insurrectionist. He's a racist. They're going to go with all of that. They're probably going to ask him, does he accept the 2020 results, which doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. They're going to ask him probably, why did you allow the insurrection to take place? All that stuff. They're going to ask him some stupid questions. And if they don't, she's going to ask him some stupid questions to pivot and distract from the lack of knowledge that she have about her own stuff. I can't even imagine going out there after spinning around in a chair for 3.5 years, doing nothing in the White House, except running around reading off teleprompters and making, divisive speeches. Now you got to get up there and explain policies, real live policies. Not only explain the ones that you so-called have moving forward, but the ones that you currently are so-called involved in. You got to be able to break that mess down. Yeah, so that's like, they hired me as an engineer for GM, and then I got a big time meeting, but they know I never got an engineering degree. They know they only hired me for PR. They needed a black engineer. They looked around and said, that guy looks pretty cool. He speaks with the King's English. Let's go ahead and bring him in to fit our DEI, quota. And they just let me roll around, going in every once in a while to the shop where people are working on cars and stuff. All right, how's everything going out here? Good. Okay. That thing right there, right? That's the engine, right? Yeah. Okay. I just want to know. I know that's the engine. I just want to know if you know it. All right. And I'm pretty sure you're going to need tires for this car, right? So I go through all of that. All of them know that this guy's horrible. Then it's time to go before the board. And the board got real questions about our new project, our new projects and stuff like that. And I got to go in there and try to cram for an engineering degree. Now, do you know how scared I would be? You're going in there with your notes. What do you mean I can't use notes? You're supposed to be a seasoned engineer, okay? We told them you had 20, 30 years of experience. They don't want you to bring notes. Just go in there and... I will go in there like, all right, hello, everybody. If there's no questions, so I just want to let you know everything's going great. About the, what? Oh, so some questions? I will be concerned. And she should too. Because that's exactly the analogy that happened with her. Brought her butt in there, let her skirt around, for 3.5 years. Now they're like, go out there and explain all of this. So I know she's nervous. And hopefully Trump will stay cool, calm, and collective and not get drug into a Donnybrook. But, of course, the fake news is coming out trying to run a little interference for and give us an update on how everything is going. So let's check that out.
She has closely studied the former president's past 6 debate performances.
Oh, okay.
She's also been sort of entrenched in these briefing papers going over the former president's past comments, as well as the ways that he has insulted her, so she can be prepared to respond to that.
There it is. I know. The way he's insulted her, and we're going to be talking about some of his, the way he insults her. It's not like the way she insults him, though, right? It's not her running around calling him a rapist and a molester and a criminal and insurrectionist and racist and a white nationalist. It's not like that. I mean, he probably could drop some heavy hitters like that on her, but no, he just drops things like she's dumb, incompetent, and she's fake. Things like that. Stuff that most people could let roll off their shoulders, but when you start calling people racist, that's personal. Now you're going, oh man, you hit me below the belt. Yeah, you better pump the brakes with that. But I'm sure they're more worried about him attacking this strong, independent black woman. Now here she is talking about, I want a piece of Trump. Okay. Yeah, well, you got something to say, Trump, say it in my face. I know people like Trump. I can't wait to get in the ring. Now, all of a sudden, she's like, I'm in the ring and don't hit me because I'm a girl. Don't do that. Don't hit me because I'm a girl. Don't insult me because I'm a girl. I'm black. Don't hold me to the same standard as she would hold the American president to, as Kim Jong-un would hold the American president to, as Iran would hold the American president to, or Putin. Yeah, they wouldn't expect somebody to come in and they go, all right, just because she's a woman, we need to go ahead and tiptoe around her feelings and we need to be sensitive to. But yet they're all out there talking about how strong of a woman she is. Get in there and take the blow. I want you in there punching and shadow boxing and getting ready for war. But you up there, he's probably going to insult me. She's hoping that Trump insults her. Hoping. So Trump got to resist the temptation. That's like having somebody with all kind of elements that you could cap on, and you just choose not to do it, and yet they all out there with their mouth. Man, your feet so big that you run a 400-yard dash in 4 steps, and you going, this dude got big ears, bug eyes, missing some teeth, but he's special, and I look real bad if I go ahead and lay into this dude that's special. One of his eye is a lazy one. Oh man, looks like some knock knees. I can let him have it from head to toe. Got a bald spot and he only 14. Man, I want to jump all over him, but it would be a bad look because he's special. He goes out to the special van. So I can't let him have it. I got to sit there and let this dude, that's why you don't know nothing about, and I'm going, fight it, Kev, fight it. That's what Trump has to do. He has to resist the temptation. Because she's going to be like that special kid that's talking trash. And he got to go, don't do it. But I was thinking maybe if she was tough and strong, she could take it.
She's engaged in these mock debates with a stand-in for the former president. And she's had conversations with Hillary Clinton and President Biden, who both extensively
lost. Both extensively lost. Crooked got beat up on the stage. Biden got beat up on the stage. The worst that we've ever seen. But hey, she consulted with them.
I have knowledge of debating the former president.
I think she's been crystal clear on her values, what she wants to fight.
Now, I want y'all to get a dose of the liberal Kamala surrogates versus Trump surrogates. See, I mean, they send these people out here to defend her and tell us that she's ready for Freddie. She's ready for the big show. And they're raggedy. They're raggedy. So let's check it out.
Fight for and how she will do it. And also, she talks to people, right? She's reaching out to me. She's reaching out to businesses.
She hasn't talked to the press. I know you're a surrogate.
Oh man, I know you're a surrogate. But she hasn't talked to the press. Now, I like this guy. He be letting her have it. He be letting everybody have it. So
Good.
Yeah. So this is her surrogates coming out there.
But the American people are frustrated. The media is frustrated at the amount of access anyone's gotten to her for the past 41 days. I know you've seen that. We're finally going to have a debate tomorrow night, but she sat down for one interview that was taped and then cut down.
Ooh. Notice what he's doing. He's dropping out all of these talking points that everybody is going, yeah, that proves that you are sorry. You are a sorry candidate. You are a candidate for nothing. They are bubble wrapping the heck out of you. So he's making sure he lets her surrogate know that she's only sat down for one debate, which was pre-recorded. I want you to know I'm aware of all of the elements that wrapped her up and kept her safe.
And certain little things came out from it, but it has been a master class in avoiding any questions, and nothing's been made clear by her. Maybe it's been made clear in dribs and drabs from her policymakers when it comes out in print or on off a teleprompter.
But that don't count.
Her scripted speeches.
Scripted speeches. Boy, he's sticking it to her. He's throwing in all kind of jab. Out there that came out from the surrogates or people in the ether, maybe where you're from, but it ain't coming out from her through her scripted speeches. So not only is he letting her know we don't know nothing about this woman, but the stuff we know is coming out of scripted speeches, which don't address the stuff we want to know. How you like that? And what does she have to say to that?
She's been impossible to pin down on anything because she hasn't given any access.
Yeah.
The American people deserve it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, and I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you. And honestly, If we had a better candidate, it wouldn't be like this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I mean, she's garbage. Oh wait. I thought we were on break. And I was just talking. Me and you just went. We still live? Okay. Because you know that's what she want to say. So that's one of the Kamala Harris surrogates. Let's check out some of Trump's surrogates. Yeah, he got some amazing surrogates. Check this one out.
You know about this Cheney announcement. Here's in part what he said, quote, in our nation's 248-year history.
Now, y'all see that, man? Byron and Donalds posted up there confident, relaxed. See, these are surrogates. And you know what makes Trump's surrogates great? The truth. The fact that we are talking about the truth. We're not going to get drug into all of these fake narratives. Stick to the truth. Stick to some common sense. And beat up these fake news narratives, regardless of how they try to paint the story one way. Watch what Byron Donalds do to him. Now, this guy is trying to use one of the most unpopular vice presidents besides Kamala Harris that all Republicans on our side, current Republican voters, are going, we don't care nothing about no Dick Cheney. Man, get that war hawk out of here, along with his daughter, too. Take them both. Get them out of here. So he's trying to use Dick Cheney, just like they use Liz Cheney, as some type of leverage to say Trump must be bad, when some of your more popular, beloved rhinos are saying they're not going to vote for him.
There's never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump.
I don't know. You and Bush was pretty bad, too. Now looking back, I don't know, Dick Cheney, but let's continue.
What would you say to Vice President Cheney in response to that?
Okay.
My first response is, I really don't care what he thinks.
Oh, see, this is the new MAGA movement. These are new MAGA men. We don't care about what these old dinosaurs are talking about. Anytime the fake news drag out a Republican to try to attack MAGA or Trump, we already know what kind of person they are. We already know you are a rhino. So we don't care what you got to say. And guess what? These people that reference these folks must not know that the voters do not like Dick Cheney, or they do not like Liz Cheney. This means nothing to us. We're going, and we expected these folks to come out and do this. Because Trump stands for everything that these people stand for. He stands against it, rather. So when you talk about the endless wars and all of that, the military-industrial complex, Trump's not on that. Yeah, trying to imperialize other countries and take down. Trump's not on that. And so I expect these people to come out and have something to say about it. Because Trump's the opposite of those rhinos.
Secondarily, if you look at the way Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have led the current administration.
Watch his counter. Y'all ready for Byron's counter? So the fake news man came out and he tried to go with, a right cross with the Cheney thing. And Byron Donalds slipped it. First of all, like, I don't care about that right cross. I saw it coming. Okay. I slipped it. Now what I'm going to do is counter with my own flurry of blows to show you what a real threat to democracy looks like. Yeah, I'm going to give you, instead of just a vague statement like Dick Cheney said, he's the greatest threat to democracy, I'm going to give you some real examples of what we should be fearing.
They suppressed the free speech of the American people. It was the Biden campaign that lied to the world during the last presidential election, using the intelligence agencies and 51 intelligence officers to lie about the laptop from hell. That's something the Biden campaign did. They lied about all the impacts using the COVID-19 vaccine.
Oh, man. Now, this right here seems dangerous. I wouldn't want a regime in place that have done all the things that Byron Donalds is listing. He's given actual proof of what real danger looks like. Instead of just coming out saying Trump's an existential threat, if you elect him, he's going to be a dictator on day one, that he fundamentally disagrees with everything that America stands for, and all the vague things they throw out there. Can't give you no details. He's an insurrectionist, but don't ask us how and what he did to become an insurrectionist and how. Don't do that. We'll just throw out a whole bunch of vague statements to make you think Trump's dangerous. But this man is throwing out precise punches right to this guy's nose. He's letting him know, no, I'm not going to be swinging wild. I'm not going to be out there swinging wild, haymakers and missing. I'm very calculated. I'm going to tell you what this administration is about. This real dangerous. Boop. They spy on American citizens. Boop. Things like that. Makes him real dangerous. Continue picking him apart, Byron.
Tried to use OSHA to mandate 80 million Americans getting that vaccine. They fired over 10,000 soldiers from our military over the same situation.
What? And you wonder why the morale in the military is low. You wonder why we have low recruiting numbers. I wouldn't want to get in that mess right now either. And they talking, all right, soldier, I hate to have to lay this on you, but you're going to have to get vaccinated. Well, what if I decline? Oh, well, you're going to be going AWOL. Yeah. Oh, or we're going to have to dismiss you out of the... So, nobody wants that. Do you understand how bad this administration violated so many people's individual rights? I mean, I could just go down the list. When it comes down to the spying and the censoring and the locking folks up for no reason. And then you have the big boy of all, which was that vaccination. That one right there, I will never forgive him. Never, ever forgive him. The whole COVID process, I will never forgive these left-wing lunatic dictators. And I ain't talking about just the Biden administration, but every Democrat politician that got on board with that mess and encouraged it and pushed it and just completely was hypocritical, and yet they're dumb voters. And folks in their cities are out there walking around with their masks as they walked around getting caught constantly without a mask. They didn't have a mandate to get vaccinated, and yet they threw that mess on America. And there's so many fallouts from that we haven't even seen yet. And the ones that we are seeing, they don't even want us to speak of it. I'm still worried about even talking about it, even though we got all this data in here. And I'm like, man, do you understand how many folks got jacked up? But I can't even get on here and talk about it. Can't talk about it. And yet these people just moved on with their life.
And right now we have a situation where Kamala Harris has lied to the world about the health and mental capabilities of Joe Biden. So you put all that together and then you have this statement from Dick Cheney. I'm going to look at what's actually been happening with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and the threat they are to democracy, not what Dick Cheney's saying.
Wonderfully done. Now that is a surrogate. See, that's how you defend, who you're voting for right there. Yeah, you don't come out swinging wild. You don't come out just throwing out vague statements and accusations. That guy definitely was trying, of course, which they always do on CNN and MSNBC. Everything revolves around trying to make Trump look bad. So they bring the surrogates on. What do you think about that? They try to act like they're curious. They try to act like they didn't strategically say, which story can we handpick that might paint Trump negatively? What? Oh, Dick Cheney said he don't. Okay, let's do that. Let's try to see if we can catch Byron Donalds slipping. Yeah. What did you think Byron Donalds was going to say? Well, I agree with Dick Cheney. Now that he said that, changed my whole mind. Phew. You know what? I'm denouncing Donald Trump. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. What do they expect? And yet they bring on super intelligent surrogates. I hate to say this, but Republicans are smarter than them Democrats. When you bring on Democrat politicians, if they're not on a platform like this, if they're actually getting picked apart, they're horrible. I mean, they make it like Eric Swalwell. He just went off today about some crap that's going on down in Springfield House. Made a fool of himself. They sound horrible. They're so fake and so scripted. They come out with their talking points. They can't deviate from it. And if they're pushed and challenged, they fall apart because guess what? All they have is lies. They don't have the truth. This man just listed facts that the Biden administration was responsible for. Yet you got Dick Cheney saying that Trump's the existential threat. Please. That's why it falls on deaf ears. And that guy right there knows it. He's like, I just got knocked out. Who else? Who else did they try to get? Show me another one. Show me the another stuff.
I want to turn to a very different topic, and that is something that the Justice Department said this week. They detailed a Russian government effort to stoke divisions in the U.S. using front organization.
Here we go. I want to turn to another the topic that the deep state told me to, because they're prepping everybody for some Russia collusion narratives. I got the call from perhaps Christopher Wray. Who knows where the call came from? Maybe Mayor Garlic. All right, it's time to push Russia collusion, okay? Now watch what they try to do in this statement. Look what this foul, nasty, stinking chick. Not only is she about to get smashed by the surrogate right here, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and get in a couple licks too.
And social media, prominent right-wing influencers like Dave Rubin and Benny Johnson.
Prominent right-wing influencers apparently are getting some money or support from some mysterious Russian agent entity or something, or merchiker. So notice what they do. Okay. They now want to use a little bit of McCarthyism. So apparently, whatever, and now she ain't giving no details. She ain't giving no proof. She's just saying it. And brought up two very influential conservative commentators. Now, of course, she got to go right wing, and they're getting money from the Russians. What do you think about that? Are you okay with them receiving money from Putin? What are they, if they are getting money from an agency that somehow got some connection with a Russian? She ain't even saying whether it's the Russian government or some Russians, who knows? But she's just saying it, ain't giving no details, and smearing Benny and smearing Dave, trying to make them look like everything that they're saying, everything that they believe is not genuine. It's all being financed and pushed and supported by who?
Who have ties to Tenet Media. And that's a company that the Justice Department says was being funded by Russian operatives. You said...
Do you believe the Department of Justice? I don't believe nothing they say at this point. Funded by Russian operatives. So now all of a sudden, Tenet Media, whatever that is, now there's no proof that even if that company does have some type of funds coming from some Russian, there's no proof that Benny or Dave Rubin know anything about that. And if there is financial support, does it come with some type of requirement? I mean, is their message being pushed, by Russia? Are they saying things that I'm going, now, wait a minute. I was just listening to Benny Johnson talk about Trump and his assassination. And all of a sudden he just stopped and said, you must believe Mother Russia. Mother Russia should rise again. Anyway, back to Trump getting, is that what's happening? They're still talking about everything that we're looking at and saying, absolutely right. With that message right there, didn't come from no Russians, nothing. But look, she's going to try to make it seem like it.
On the Intelligence Committee, how worried are you that right-wing influencers...
Yeah, it's all right-wing. She's not talking about all of these left-wing influencers that are being paid by Kamala Harris and the DNC. She's not talking about all of those governors and all of those DAs and all of those judges that are receiving money from, you know who? The evil emperor. Yes, Trump is an anomaly. She ain't talking about that. You bring that man up and all of a sudden you're anti-Semitic. So now here she is trying to say, how do you feel about that? They're receiving money from Russia. Once again, pushing Russia collusion.
People who do have an impact on their constituents are being funded, either directly or indirectly, by the Russian government in order to make an impact on this election.
How? What do you mean in order to make an impact on this election? Are they pushing Russian talking points? This is what kills me. I mean, if right now I am starting to get money from, I don't know who sends me money. I don't know how many of you people that send, me money through CASHAPP and PayPal. You could be Russian. I don't know. But it doesn't come with, oh, by the way, could you give Russia a plug? Could you push a little communism? So now Benny Johnson and Dave Rubin, who are very anti-communist, who always are attacking Kamala about her communist policies, who are always warning Americans and conservatives about this left-wing extremist Marxist agenda. Those guys apparently are being used to push Russian propaganda and influence an election. So now, if I guess this money that she's saying is being sent to them ceases, I guess their message would just change. That's what she's saying. The message that they're already talking about, they've been talking about for years, their personality, their beliefs, their policies, all of that, all of this time, you're telling me somehow it's all influenced by the Russians. But yet somehow it all lines up with my policies, my beliefs, things like that too. Am I a Russian agent? I'm not getting no money from Russia, I don't think. So let's continue.
Well, first off, Dana, we haven't been in session, so I haven't seen any intelligence about this matter. I've only seen the allegations I've read in the newspaper.
Of course, that's what you should be saying, Dana, before you get out there and accuse them of being connected to Russia and pushing Russian talking points.
People should not knowingly take money from the government of Russia or Iran or China or any.
Yeah, just like Joe Biden and just like Hunter Biden, they shouldn't be taking money from them. They should be taking money from them.
The other adversarial nation to try to influence the election. But I also think it's fair to say that a few memes or videos in the vast sea of political commentary is not going to make much of a difference in this election.
Well, according to Dan, it will. According to the last election with Hillary and Trump, those $250,000 worth of, ads that the Russians put out there, we're still yet to see. I just love to see. I'm starting to question, did they even exist? I mean, when you come out and you make your presentation and you show all of your investigative results and work, you should also say, and the Russians paid this amount of money for some ads, and here are the ads. Here they are. See, we should be able to see them so we can see if they actually appeared to be Russian disinformation or whatever, but they don't want to show us. So at this point, I'm wondering, was it even real? Did they even do it? I mean, we got to trust our intel community because they're so secretive and stuff like that. That's why they need to go.
As it didn't pass election as well. What did make a difference in the last election?
Uh-oh, here comes the counter. Here comes the counter. This is what a surrogate should be like. So we already know Dana's motive. So to be a good surrogate, you gotta know the territory you're walking into. You gotta know your enemy. You know when you walk up on that set right there, that's hostile territory. That's not friendly territory. She ain't gonna sit back and let you vomit up all of your narratives and lies like they do when Nancy Pelosi comes on. I see. You know, this woman is not there to try to get some truth, get to the bottom of things, get some clarity, reveal some information to the people about, what's going on with Trump and his. She's not there to do that. Everything she is designed to do is attack the right, attack conservatives, and attack Republicans and Trump. That's it. So now you already know this man is ready. He's coming in like, okay, I see where you're going with this. You're laying the groundwork for the Russia collusion stuff while also attacking two prominent conservative commentators trying to say that they're linked to Russia. And what do you feel about that? Should you chastise them? I mean, what should happen to these people? Should he open up an investigation? Stuff like that. So now watch what he does. He's going to say, what we should be worried about when it comes down to Russia collusion is what?
Is the lies about Hunter Biden's laptop that more than 4 dozen former intelligence officials lied about in the middle of that campaign.
Oh, what a right hook. I loved it. Oh, boy, I tell you what, those are the type of right hooks I like to see, Frank. Me too, Jim. Now, look what he just did. This is why we're effective, because we have the truth on our side. We know where the real evil exists, where it's coming from. So as she's trying to paint Benny and Dave Rubin as some type of Russian agent and trying to make it seem like Putin's always in the mix, this man said, oh, you want to know something about some Russian collusion? What we should be worried about is our intel community, not Putin's, not Benny, not Dave Rubin. Our intel community that was, of course, prompted by the Biden administration to lie about Russia collusion. Now, isn't that odd that Dana's not focused on that?
And most networks, to include this one, bought that lie hook, line, and sinker.
And then he gave her a little bit more right there on that nose. Let you know, you guys were a part of that Russia collusion delusion. Y'all are the ones that pushed the Russia collusion hoax. Y'all did that. And never even questioned Hillary Clinton as she still comes on the shows and goes around on tour talking about Trump's evil and he's a threat to democracy. And yet that chick, that evil witch chick, got out there and paid for that dossier. And these folks knew about it and pushed it. But see, notice what he said to her.
That did make a difference.
He said, y'all bought it.
4 dozen former intelligence officials lied about in the middle of that campaign. And most networks, to include this one, bought that lie hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, so now he's connecting her to the Russia collusion. But notice what he says, bought it, hook, line, and sinker. However, we know that they didn't buy it. They didn't buy it. They were a part of it. See, he's just being nice. He's being nice. Yeah, they all coordinated. All right, here's what we're going to go with. All right, Trump's a Russian agent. We need you guys to push that. Okay, we're going to give you all kind of talking points. The intel community is going to be feeding you all types of stuff. We're going to keep it dragged out throughout his whole presidency. We know there's nothing there. We know there's no there. Because Van Jones leaked that out when he got caught on camera outside talking about that it's a nothing burger. It's basically a nothing burger. They knew it was a nothing burger. So it's not that they bought it. It's that they were given an assignment to participate in it. Okay, we're about to send y'all over a memo to say that that laptop is Russian disinformation. They weren't deceived. They were a part of the conspiracy. So I just want to make that correction. He's being nice because he's on their set and everything. So let's continue.
That did make a difference in the election. Ooh. But I think a few videos or commentaries, which again, you shouldn't do if you're out there in the business of commentating on elections, is not going to make a difference in the vast sea of commentary we see.
That money that she's talking about, she ain't saying how that's influencing Benny or, Dave. She's not talking about any of those things. She's not even able to make a connection to show how whatever this money they're getting has any validity, any weight when it comes down to the election. So she's just throwing that out there just for her audience to think, to see the right wingers, they're all in cahoots with the Russians. They're all evil. And probably to try to lay the groundwork for an open investigation, a wiretap on those two. Yeah, probably trying to do that.
It sounds to me like you're downplaying the fact that Vladimir Putin is using people like Dave Rubin, whose show you went on.
No evidence whatsoever. Sounds like to me you're downplaying the fact that Vladimir Putin is financing the people, the influencers like Dave Rubin, just smearing these people. She don't know. She's not sitting in the intel community meetings. She's not on the intel committee. So what is she talking about? And they're talking about Vladimir Putin himself is using Benny Johnson and Dave Rubin. If I was Benny and Dave, I need to call up Benny. Benny, and the Jets. I need to say, Benny, did you see what this chick is implying? She's trying to say that Vladimir Putin is using you and Dave Rubin. How about y'all give him a call, go on the show and say, I heard you was talking reckless about me. I heard you talking some trash. And you're up there spreading rumors about me being a Vladimir Putin puppet. Don't make me sue you for defamation. Don't make me Nick Sandman, y'all. That's what they need. They need some Nick Sandman in. So now she's trying to say that Putin is supporting those guys. In
February, as a tool for his propaganda.
Man, I would be so mad if I heard my name pop up on CNN. Okay. First of all, if it come up on CNN, I already know it's negative. It's a hit piece. But for her to come out and say that Putin is using them for propaganda. And for propaganda. I mean, have you ever watched? I bet you she's never even watched a whole episode of Dave Rubin or Benny Johnson. Oh, well, then again, she might have. And that's probably why they're using this narrative. They're probably going, these guys are actually revealing a lot of truth. And they're exposing a lot of our lies. They're convincing a lot of people. They're opening up the eyes and the minds of a lot of folks out there. They're exposing the deep state. Yeah, they got a lot of influence. They got too many numbers. They got too many folks to subscribe. Time to do a hit piece. You know what we do? Yeah, to bring them down, sprinkle a little Russian on them. Sprinkle a little Russian on them. There you go. You like that? You like some Russian? All of a sudden, we got to open up an investigation. There's some Russian all over them. This right here is the worst type of political attacks, man. This is, what they're doing is just straight accusing you of being a traitor.
So I'm not downplaying Vladimir Putin's designs or Xi Jinping's designs or Ayatollah's designs to try to influence our election. But using money, using money to try to promote memes or videos on the internet is not exactly going to make a huge difference. Again, you shouldn't knowingly do that. I don't know if any of these people knowingly did it.
Do you know young people who some people only get their information from those memes and videos?
But
see, and they're effective because see, the left can't meme. That's why they hate us. That's what, I got a meme for my thumbnail for this video. Yeah, our memes hit right to the gut. Their memes suck. Ours hit right to the gut and theirs suck. So they hate our memes. They hate our spoofs. I'm about to release a video of some of the best spoofs that clowns the Democrats, mocks them. They hate that because there's truth to it. It's funny, but it's true. They hate those things. So here she is talking about that some people get there out of, because what they want is, to make it seem as if Americans are stupid. Actually, they want Americans to be stupid. Yeah. And these memes are quick, short, to the point, get to the point, and they make people laugh. Even folks that might not be political or might even be kind of left-wing, some of our memes are so funny that they gotta be like, that is funny. You know what? They got a point. They got a point. Yeah, I see what they're saying. So this woman's trying to say these memes, y'all. Yeah, they're so influential because they're coming from who? Putin? They're coming from who? Russia? No, it's American citizens. It's a lot of conservatives that see the left as comical, see how hypocritical they are, see how horrible they are, see how bad their policies are, see how much of a liars they are, and they create memes to make them look bad. And the left don't like it. And Democrats don't like it because it's impacting. And they're, all right, we got to stop the memes. We'll just call those disinformation. That's what we'll just throw that in the category of some disinformation. So watch her try to switch up her style, though. She's going to go from talking about this and go after J.D. Vance, y'all. You know what it is. It's time for taking guns. It's gun taking time now, y'all, because they done had a shooting that took place. So it's time to go after them guns, y'all.
Dana, what would be catastrophic is if a foreign government, say, hacked into the voter registration system
that would be
during voting, or hacked into election machines and erased votes, or turned off the electricity in a big city on election day. Those are things that are serious threats.
Yeah, stuff like water main breaks in the middle of the night while votes are being counted. And then everybody goes home except for about 8 or 9 people who stays and spend a night swiping ballots that's mysteriously appeared from underneath tables in the middle of the night. That right there concerns me more than Putin.
A few videos and
Are those active threats? Are you? Is that
I am worried about those kind of threats, sure.
Is that based on what you're being briefed on?
It's based on the vulnerabilities that all of our infrastructure around the country has. That worries me a lot more than a few videos or memes. Again, this is the kind of thing that foreign governments like Russia does, and no one should knowingly and wittingly.
And it's the kind of thing that our government does too, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh, we got 450 people watching. Good stuff. Yeah. So it's the kind of stuff that our government does. Because honestly, this whole last 8 to 10 years, I have not seen one thing Russia has done to even get our attention, to make me even feel some type of way about Russia. I'm going, what Russia got to do with every single attack on Trump and on us was done by our deep state intel community and our Democrats and the fake news. Every single thing. So unless it is extremely obvious that it was Vladimir Putin, when I hear Russia at this point, it goes in one ear and out the other. It immediately makes me go, it's probably our intel community pulling some kind of shenanigans. Now it's sad that we got to stop and say, you know what? I don't know which is worse, our intel community, our current Democrats, or Russia. I can't just take the word of our government who, back in the day, you mentioned the Russians, we're on board. What, do you want us to fight? We're ready to go to war? We don't like that. Now I'm going, wait a minute. Let's ease up. Let's make sure it's Russia. Because it could be, a couple deep state actors. Yeah, it could be Brennan, Clapper, Comey. Who knows? Who knows who it is? But now she's going to try to switch up her tactic and go after our guns.
Partake in it.
I want to ask you about another topic that is very much in the news this week, and that is the shooting in Georgia.
I see.
We've all been seeing the texts, the heartbreaking texts, especially as parents, of students saying, I love you to their parents. Students using...
Yeah. See, now, we already know where it's going. Or knows. She's setting it up as she's reading her notes. Okay. All right, listen, Dana. We want you to start off by pulling on the heartstrings before you go after JD Vance, because you want to create the contrast. You want to show how heartbreaking the situation was. And then compare it to JD Vance's evil statement. There you go. Make sure you saw the pictures of them weeping and crying and throwing, their shirts on top of people, and it was horrible. I just can't imagine what these people have gone through. But JD Vance made a comment. See, you see the tactic. I see it. I'm so glad I'm clairvoyant when it comes down to seeing through short. I see right through the short.
Using their shirts off their backs to try to save their teacher. Republican Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance said after the shooting, quote, "I don't like that this is a fact of life," adding, "We don't have to like the reality that we live in, but it is the reality we live in."
So she wants it to come across as JD's insensitive, and basically his response is, suck it up. I mean, why would we do anything about guns? Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? What you want us to do? It's just a part of life, man. It's the circle of life. That's what she wants. But really what she wants is another effort to go after what? Guns. Make Republicans look insensitive. Make them look like they don't care about kids being shot. Make sure it looks like we're more excited about, holding on to that precious Second Amendment and supporting the NRA and all of that stuff. And we're just evil folks just sitting in our house with all of our guns and our money and our racism and stuff like that. And we're like, no, you can't take none of that stuff. And pretty much that's the case. Yeah, don't take our guns. But that's what she really wants. But she's trying to ride in on something more passive because they don't have the gonads to just straight come out and say, we're trying to get guns. Not just the scary AR. We want them all because we're Marxists. We're communists. How you think we're going to become dictators and y'all running around with all these guns? Now, we will use every single shooting, regardless of anything. We'll use it all, okay? And all of that is designed to get your guns. Now, notice this, though. She's not going to, suggest that, hey, you know what? This individual was responsible for this and that individual alone. She's not going to suggest that. Somehow we all got to pay the price. Somehow all of us law-abiding citizens got to pay the price. But when it came to that mess, that guy from Guatemala, I guess, who killed, an American citizen, Mucus, first thing he said is that nobody's responsible but the man who committed the crime. But now all of a sudden, though, we all got to have collective consequences.
Do you accept that school shootings like this are just a way of life now?
No, absolutely not. And J.D. Vance doesn't either. He said that he doesn't want them to be a fact of life. And this.
She left that part out. She left that part out. She was hoping that this was a bad surrogate. She was hoping that this guy was uninformed. See, but he has the truth. He has the truth. So she tries to drop the hit piece and make J.D. Vance look like that's all he said, period. Drop the mic. Hey, man, I don't care nothing about shoot. You know what I'm saying? Where is it? Oh, my microphone. All right, ain't nothing here. Here, there it is. Yeah. J.D. Vance came out there like, man, miss me with all of this mess, man. Hey, folks live, folks die, man. Hey, it's the way of life. Boom, and drop the mic. That's what she wanted to seem like. But
Associated Press got caught distorting that quote from him so bad that they had to retract it.
So bad that they had to retract it. Just like the other day when Kristen Welker was debating or having him on the show, and he was trying to tell her about the Gold Star parents and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden showing up to the event for the body. And she was like, no, that's not true. That they both showed up. They was not, but they were there. And then she had to retract it. Had to come out later like, I made a mistake. Actually, like they always do. So now they had to retract that statement. So why are you even bringing up J.D. Vance? You were hoping he didn't know that. You was hoping he'd miss it. But he caught it and gave you a left hook to the eye.
But here's what we also know about that shooting, even as we're still gathering the facts.
Here it comes.
It wasn't as bad as it might have been because there was a police officer on the school premises that was able to neutralize the shooter. Kamala Harris wants to take police officers out of school. She said it in the past.
Oh, you just opened up your ribs to be tenderized while trying to swing at J.D. Vance. This is what a good surrogate does. He counters it. Said, okay, first of all, that's a lie. J.D. Vance didn't say it in that context. For your audience, did you want to just leave them thinking that it had to get retracted? Secondly, okay, you know what really kept that from being worse? As he brings this left hook from down yonder in slow motion. Yeah, if a cop wasn't there on the scene to stop the shooter. And guess who wanted cops out of schools? She opened herself up.
That's her position. It's not surprising because she's consistently taken positions against law enforcement throughout her career as a San Francisco liberal.
Now Dana, she's fiddling with her papers. She's like, okay, somebody help me. Because now that just backfired. I tried to make it seem like Democrats or Republicans rather are just insensitive and they want to see kids killed. Instead, this guy's talking about practical stuff. This guy right here is talking about, look, man, how about we actually reinforce our schools with more police and even possibly some teachers that have their license to carry. How about we do that and invest that money into the schools instead of housing for illegal immigrants, things like that. And some of the other stuff we're going to find out that Chameleon Harris is okay with and, okay with our tax dollars going to. So now this guy is saying, if you leave it up to Chameleon, 1 million folks probably would have got killed. They would be looking at these schools like, oh, this is great. The Democrats want cops away from the school.
If that police officer hadn't been there, if Kamala Harris had gotten her way, many more students and teachers might have been killed.
Wow.
She was
here comes the defense. Here comes the defense, because that's what they really are. They're out there running interference for the DNC. So now, instead of just saying, oh, yeah, that is bad, Kamala, she wanted that? That seems counterproductive. You know what? It's a good thing they didn't listen to her. That's what she should be saying. That's what Dana Trash should be saying. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Well, because she did know that. But she should be saying, wow, you know what? You got a good point. And I need to be asking Kamala the next time I get her on my raggedy show for a softball interview. Why did you not want police officers at these schools? Well, we're going to hear it from Kamala herself.
Attacked when she ran for president in the Democratic primary. They were calling her Kamala Cop because she was the opposite of what you were saying. But I just want to stay on.
You see that? You see, I got to always try to counter, and defend the Democrat. And then go ahead and try to hit and run. But I want to stay on. So now let's hear from Chameleon about that issue.
Incarcerated for a couple of days is traumatic, much less the weeks, months, and years that we're seeing that happen. And so part of my plan is also a reduction of that. And then also, again, what we need to do about demilitarizing our schools.
What?
And taking police officers out of schools.
Wow.
We need to deal with the reality and speak the truth about the inequities around school discipline.
Inequities around school discipline. So in other words, if you got, now first of all, you got police officers in, very wealthy school districts and low income districts and stuff like that. But apparently having the presence of police officers don't make people feel more safe. It makes them feel like they're in encampments. Now, I was a principal at an all-black school, inner city of Youngstown. First thing I did, we need security. Parents felt better knowing there was a cop on the scene. Because see, where we were at, folks would bring guns. Yeah, man, they would bring guns. They'd leave them outside. No telling what could happen in the hood. So I know if I got a kid that's going to a school in the inner city, no time to be talking about something. Man, why they got to have cops here? They just doing that because we black. Nope. Black people like to feel safe too. But according to her, because she's all about DEI, because she's all about Marxist conflict theory, and because she's all about racism and stuff like that, she wants it to appear that having police at schools, whether they're very wealthy schools or very low income schools, all of that, I guess, is just what? Demilitarizing them because they shouldn't feel like they're prisoners. No, they should feel safe. If I had a kid and I dropped them off at school and I'm going, no guards, no cops, no nothing, maybe I should stay. I'll be sitting there in my high school. Dad, you don't have to be here. Nope. Right in the back of the classroom. answering questions. Mr. Ellerby, you're not a part of the class. Oh, I'm sorry, my fault. Son, you know this one. Dad, you're embarrassing me. Hey, look, they don't have a security guard here, son. I have to be the one to protect all of you guys because the Democrats removed them. That's what she wanted. So if she would have had her way, God knows how many folks would have got jacked up.
This topic of school shootings, because you're right, it could have been so much worse.
Oh, yeah, she
and they do have
the
measures in place in
Here
the
we
school.
go.
But the fact that there are
She's trying.
mental health problems, and we don't know exactly what was going on with this 14-year-old, 14, but there are mental health problems all across the world right now. It's bad. The difference between other countries and this country is that it is being expressed with gun violence. Is it not time to figure out a way to mitigate that part of the equation when it is affecting our children so often?
So what's the solution, Dana? Where she's hitting at, is it time to get the AR-15s and stuff off the street? Well, you know what would probably help if you guys were not obsessed with getting that gun off to whereas every time somebody do something with that gun, you guys immediately publicize it and blow it up and talk about it constantly. And it's all designed to turn negative sentiments towards those type of weapons. You want public outcry. You want to create public outcry and a demand to get those off the streets. But really, you want them to get those off or out of the homes of conservatives who own those bad boys. And some, liberals too. A lot of people own those. And those guns would probably be pretty effective just in case the government lost their mind. So you start with one of the most popular guns amongst conservatives. Get that. Try to pretend that it's just that one. It's just that one. It's so scary. Look how many times it's been used in these shootings. Let's not talk about that Glock. Let's not talk about those handguns that are used in mass shootings every weekend in Chicago, St. Louis, you name it. But we don't want to count those. We don't want to count those. We want to publicize these type. Because immediately what this allows us to do is buddy hop from the person who did it to all of you law-abiding citizens. Now, not one of my guns on that shelf, including the 2 ARs, are not going to jump off there, jump in my man truck, shoot down there to the first school and go to work. Not one of them. Not one of them are going to do that. In fact, guess what? If I heard or saw somebody doing something crazy like that and I could get hold of that, and stop them, I would. Then would the gun be evil? Then would they say, well, you know what, it's because of the AR-15. It can be used for good or evil just like any other gun. But of course, they don't want it to be used to stand against tyranny. Therefore, they want to politicize it. And so let's see how he counters.
Well, I think one way to mitigate that is to enforce the laws we have on the books. Donald Trump did that.
That's a good start.
Severe crackdown on criminals using guns. Since Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have taken office, they have deprioritized that. They haven't focused on enforcing the laws that we have.
They don't care about laws.
They focus on trying to take guns away from law-abiding citizens.
That's what they focused on. Yeah, that's what they focused on. And illegal immigrants. Yeah, they're not focused on the safety of Americans. They're so focused on the safety of illegal immigrants, and they're focused on taking guns away from law-abiding citizens.
That's not going to solve our crime problem. What will solve our crime problem is actually cracking down on gun crimes. They've directed U.S. attorneys in many cases not to pursue gun charges because those gun charges come with stiff mandatory minimums, which Kamala Harris opposes.
So are these?
Yeah. Long as they're not white Anglo-Saxon men that, use the AR-15. We don't want to, we lock them up forever. Throw away the key. But all of those other brothers and sisters that use guns in the inner S-hole ran Democrat cities, we don't want them to feel like they're being discriminated against. We don't want to get them off the streets because they help destabilize our whole country. See, they help us fulfill our mandate from the evil Emperor George of you-know-who that wants to allow these folks to be released. Easy on crime. Let them back out. Stuff like that. Interesting.
Are these do you see any action? In the offing at all in the wake of this once again, or is it just going to be enforce the laws on the books?
Well, again, enforcing laws on the book is one way to stop gun crime. Another way is to keep police officers at schools. Many schools across the country have police officers, but
that's why I love being a conservative. Usually the simple solution is the best solution. Don't overthink it. This ain't too deep. I mean, how about you post police officers up at schools instead of spending billions of dollars on illegal immigrants? Ta-da! Do you know how many police officers they can hire for all of those billions of dollars that they spent to fly illegal immigrants all over the country? That's a lot of officers that they can put at some schools. Every school in America can have about 8 officers, maybe more. They could be walking around that mug like ding, 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 ding. And if anybody decide, you know what, I'm mad at the world, and you know what, they try to make me unexist, I'm gonna make everybody pay, and pull up and you see a nice police, presence right there, you're going, wow, I'm not going out, I'm not going out in glory, I'm going out bad. As soon as I jump out the car with mine, they're gonna lay me down. That would solve it. But instead of practical solutions like that, nope, Kamala's solution, remove police. Remove them. There you go. That makes it more safe. Yeah, then the kids don't have to feel like racism is surrounding them. That they don't. But they might have to contend with a couple bullets and stuff like that. But at least they don't feel like the white racist police officers are looking over their shoulder. Practical, simple solutions. And Democrats always try to complicate things because they don't want to fix them. They try to make like it's deeper to shut down that border. It's not that simple to just say, don't come here. They try to make it seem like it's not that simple to just build a wall and tell them to remain in Mexico. It's not that simple to require them to stop at the first available country before getting to our border. It's not that simple. It's not that simple to just put a military presence on that border to show them we mean business. It's not that simple. Because they don't want to solve the problem.
Kamala Harris and her friends on the radical left were successful in getting police officers out of many schools during the BLM riots in 2020 and the what followed.
So Congress won't do anything.
Well, most law enforcement happens at the local level. These police officers are not federal agents; they're local police department officers.
And they want to federalize the police. That's what they want. They want more federalization because then that means they can control the population. So here she is. What's up? Congress ain't gonna do. What do you want Congress to do? Pass a bill to just ban, AR-15s under the premise of assault weapons, which we already know that's a broad term. And y'all always will slide in something that we'll wake up and go, well, I thought we was just getting rid of the AR-15, and now they're taking my 38 special, and now they're taking my shotgun, now they're taking my rifle, all of that. They're sneaky, but let's continue because this guy ain't falling for it.
But again, Kamala Harris and her friends on the radical left who oppose law enforcement, they wanted to get them out of schools. That's one way. It's not the only way, and it's not a silver bullet.
Nice counter.
One way to help protect these schools, among many others.
So
look at that. Wow. And guess what, y'all? Guess what? So CNN must have had a brain fart, and look what they did. So that stupid policy that Tom Cotton just talked about, Kamala Harris wanting to get police out of the schools. Yeah, that stupid policy. They discovered there's more stupid policies. So stupid that CNN was shocked. How stupid it is. CNN was like, whoa, that's pretty, man, are you kidding me? That's pretty stupid. Now, look at this, guys.
2019, in what K-File found, she said she would cut funding to ICE, writing, quote, our immigrant detention system is out of control, and I believe we must end the unfair incarceration of thousands of individuals, families, and children. I was one of the first. Unfair incarceration of thousands of families and children that came across our borders illegally because we don't look at it as illegal. That's why. Yeah. And it also would hurt our goal and agenda to bring a lot of replacement voters here into the country. So we have to pretend that these people are having their rights violated or something like that, even though they don't have any American rights. They're not citizens. We got to pretend like they're being mistreated by simply being, detained for breaking our law, for coming across the country. Let's see if we can go across. Let's have a going across other country border party and see if they say it's unfair to detain these Americans. They're having a come across the border party. Come on, guys, everybody's doing it. Let's run across Mexico's border and see what happens. They pull up so quick. Hey, wait a minute, essays. What are you doing? No, man, this river only flows one way. You can't come over here, okay? Don't make us put you in the jail in Mexico. Nobody wants to go to jail in Mexico. They would throw us in jail so quick, but yet over here,
These people are being unjustifiably detained. Show me a country where you can just run across their border and not be detained. But stupid leaders like this. And if Trump don't win, this is what we're stuck with. This was all in writing, y'all.
First senators after President Trump was elected to advocate for a decrease in funding to ICE. Well, now, of course, she's touting the Biden administration's executive order to crack down on the border.
Yeah, because she wants to get elected, like Bernie Sanders said. Now all of a sudden, I thought we need more ICE agents so we can go ahead and defund them once I get in. See, the meme that I used on the front of the video, my live stream, that's what it is. Yeah, she's that evil, dang on cackling, what's them things, not coyotes, but almost hyenas. Yeah, she's that. Let me get in and then I'll work my evil.
Files Andrew Kaczynski joins me now. Andrew, that's pretty incredible on its own.
It is incredible.
When you're talking about what you found here on ICE, what else did you find?
Yeah, and this was a questionnaire that she filled out for the ACLU, and this questionnaire is really an interesting snapshot in time of that 2019 Democratic primary. Kamala Harris was trying to get to the left of Bernie Sanders.
What? So wait a minute, you wanted to go to the left of Bernie? This what we getting if America votes this lady, and that's what we're getting. You know it's bad when Bernie's like, wow, this chick she just went to the left of me. That's ridiculous. So let's see just how left, because remember they say she was the most radical, liberal person in Congress. And she was like, I don't know who told y'all that. Well, let's see.
She was trying to get to the left of Elizabeth Warren, and you really see that in a lot of these answers. And I want to walk our viewers through a little bit of what she said. Let's just take immigration and look at what she said here. She said on immigration, she made this open-ended pledge to end immigrant detention. She said she supported taxpayer.
To end immigrant detention. Where are they all going to go? Maybe in Ohio. Down there where all the Haitians are wreaking havoc. So let's end that and just release them into your neighborhoods, not ours.
Funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants. She also said she supported
Taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained migrants. She actually said she supported that.
She both wrote and answered in the affirmative when she was asked this. And she,
you know, it's bad when CNN is like, did I hear that right? Tax-funded gender care and transition surgery for detained migrants. Do middle-class Americans who got Kamala signs in their yard know about this? If I was Trump, I would bring this up tonight. I'd be like, you still okay with this tax-funded gender care for transitional surgery for the migrants and stuff? So let me get this straight. Jose, I have these feelings on the inside. I feel like I'm in a different body or something, but I don't have the pesos to go and get a surgery. So I'm thinking about going to America, crossing the border, getting detained, and then having their government pay for my sexual transition. That's what this woman is saying that should happen. That's bad crap crazy. I would let her have it on that one tonight.
She said she also supported it for federal prisoners. Now, she also pledged to slash immigration detention by 50%, close all family and private facilities, and decrease funding for ICE, and then end ICE detainers with local law enforcement.
So turn us into a S-hole country. That's what you're saying. Yeah, turn us into a third world country. That's what you want. Because that's what the Democrats are doing. And this chick is so extreme and so far left. And yet you want me to believe that all of these ideas and beliefs just changed? She no longer support those things? That ain't in the gut. It's not in the bone. That's what you're telling me? You're telling me, even though she got on CNN talking about my values haven't changed, you're telling me all of that stuff right there is not lingering in the back of her head like, soon as I get in, if y'all can just go ahead and somehow get me in, just like you got me into the VP position against my unpopularity, just like you made me the nominee, even though I ain't get one vote. Now, one step further, can y'all just make me the president so I can go head back to the way I am? Because right now I'm pretending as the Kamala chameleon she is.
I mean, these are things that, you know, it would be hard to think that you would come up with taxpayer funding gender transitions for detained migrants. And yet this, as you say, written and and verbal.
Written.
If I thought Biden...
Oh, God. Now, this is supposed to be a surrogate for us, y'all. Yeah, Nikki Haley is the worst. She's trash. You know what? She needs to just stop speaking. Now, I know what she's trying to do. She don't really like Trump. Yeah, she's kissing up to Trump. She's like, oh, shoot, this guy, the people love him, so I got to pretend to love him because at some point I want to mess around and try to run again. And if I run, I can't come across as an anti-Trumper because they will never vote for me. And I got news for Nikki. You want some news, Nikki? I knew a girl named Nikki. I guess you could say she was a funky, nasty, stinky rhino. So I got news for her. It doesn't matter. We're still not going to vote for you. You can pretend all you want to kind of be on Trump's team while still coming out and saying stupid stuff like this to give talking points to the left.
Trump were great candidates, I wouldn't have run for president. I ran because I thought I could do a better job.
You don't think he's a good candidate?
I think he is the Republican nominee, and I think put him against Kamala Harris, who's the Democrat nominee. For me, it's not a question.
Victoria, what do you hear in these comments?
See? Getting out there, opening her funky rhino mouth, only gives folks like this, something to say. And listen to this fool. He's supposed to be a Republican. Y'all see that guy right there? Now think how far we've come. This guy was once he was the chair of the RNC, rather. That guy right there, the one on MSNBC. Look how far we've come to be able to sniff out these funky rhinos and listen to what he got to say.
One of my favorite pieces of advice that I've gotten is listen to what people don't say. And in that interview, it was very clear what Nikki Haley did not say.
Yeah, I mean, Michael, what do you think of that nonverbal message?
Oh, come on, stop it. I mean, just, if you want to be a political leader, for heaven's sake, be one. Just stop it. There is no comparison between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump on any...
You're right. No comparison whatsoever. Kamala is trash.
Any planet. Just stop faking it.
He's trying to come up with words.
Made your bed, now own it. Say Donald Trump's the guy, I'm going to ride it. Just stop the noise. Stop the noise about it. Own the moment, because that's where you are. The rest of us are owning our moment. Liz Cheney is owning hers. Why can't you own yours, Nikki? And just that there's no comparison between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
And that's probably why she's saying, look, I must go ahead and suck it up and vote for Trump, because there is no comparison. We just heard Kamala Harris talk about giving transitions to illegal immigrants that are detained. There's no comparison. None whatsoever, man, unless you're okay with that. So this so-called Republican, I guess he's okay with those raggedy policies. So here he is trying to do his best to springboard off of Nikki Haley seeming to always go out and pretend she's saying something positive, but yet at the same time, she ends up leaking out something negative like this.
On policy, on the Constitution, on governance, the rule of law, you know that. One of them tried to overthrow an election. One of them didn't.
Nikki Haley does not like the demeaning comments that Trump has made about Kamala Harris.
See, here we go. See, this is what I'm talking about. They keep sending her out, and she keeps doing interviews first of all, the person who lost to Trump shouldn't be giving Trump no advice whatsoever. You got your butt beat. Okay, you stayed in the race way too long. We knew you were trying to sabotage the whole thing. Now what you're doing is going around pretending that all you're doing is giving simple advice. I thought, well, I think the Trump can, but your advice always gives the left some type of way to criticize Trump. So now what she's saying is Trump should be gentle with Chameleon tonight. Trump should be sensitive. He shouldn't be up there calling her a chameleon. He shouldn't be calling her dumb and stupid, even though she is.
And she said as much yesterday in an interview. Let me play this.
I think it's because Donald Trump and J.D. Vance need to change the way they speak about women. You don't need to call Kamala dumb. She didn't get this far.
If the shoe fit, you better nasty. Because that shoe's fitting her snug. She ain't got no room for error. That shoe right now is hanging on her tight. So she's dumb. She got them dumb shoes. Rocking those dumb shoes.
Just by accident. She
didn't get there just by, she did. She got all the way where she is. Just like I just said a minute ago. Didn't earn one bit of it. She was horrible as a DA in San Francisco, horrible in the Senate, horrible as a VP, horrible as a presidential candidate, then horrible as a VP. And none of that stuff. She produced any evidence that she's smart and competent. So what does that land her in? The category of dumb. But according to Nikki, yeah, you should be calling her dumb, but they can call you a white nationalist, racist, Hitler.
Here, that's what it is. She's a prosecutor. You don't need to go and talk about intelligence or looks or anything else. Just focus on the policies. When you call even a Democrat woman dumb, Republican women get their backs up too. Do you agree with Nikki Haley?
Now, see, here's another surrogate. Let's see how she does. But what kills me, though, is she's talking about, when you call another woman dumb, Republican women get tightened. Now, understand, guys, Trump's an equal opportunist. You know how many times he talked about Joe Biden being stupid, dumb, low IQ, not intelligent? See, they're trying to make it seem like Trump's statements about her being dumb, low IQ, or stupid is simply because she's a woman. But they won't mention that he called Joe Biden dumb probably a million times. So let's see how the surrogate handles it. Let's see if she takes the bait.
Well, I think the issues should be the focus tonight, but the reality is that Kamala Harris's failures on the issues is the reason why she's incompetent, whether she's a man or a woman.
Right. And
there's some pretty dumb stuff that took place. Those dumb policies that they just read on CNN, those were dumb. Even the CNN lady was like, what? Yeah, so only a dumb person would suggest that.
That's what Nikki Haley is saying, but do you agree that it doesn't help Donald Trump when he calls her dumb?
I think it's important to call a spade a spade. I think Kamala Harris is absolutely incompetent for the failures of the last 3.5 years.
Do you think she is
peddling
dumb?
lies?
Yeah, you think she's dumb? I want to hear you say it. Trying to get her to commit to saying that either Donald Trump shouldn't be calling her dumb or just confess that, yeah, I do think he should be able to call her dumb. Now, this lady handles it well. Me, I'd have been like, yeah, I don't see what the problem is. She is dumb. Those policies that she just suggested, they don't sound dumb? Are you kidding me? Have you ever listened to her? Ukraine is a country. It's a smaller country. Sound pretty dumb to me. I'm here on the east. Wait, the west. Wait. All of those clips point towards dumbness.
And I believe that she is peddling lies when she talks about turning the page. She is currently the vice president in the White House. We need to turn the page.
Telling mistruths,
I want you to
not
say
equivalent
that
to
Trump shouldn't
being
say
dumb.
she's dumb.
You would then be making a statement about Donald Trump as well.
I think
if that was the case. Do you agree with Donald Trump?
Doing the job that she is auditioning for. I absolutely think that she is incapable of doing the job that she is auditioning for. I believe that Americans know that she is incapable of doing the job that she is auditioning for.
Absolutely, we do. For the fact that chick has been ghosted. Yeah, that chick want no parts of a microphone right about now unless she is simply reading off that teleprompter. She's not confident in her skills, her knowledge, and she's not competent in her accomplishments. She ain't done nothing. I'm thinking to myself, good grief, what have you done? I mean, and the stuff you attempted to do ended in tragedy. That border right now, I'm thinking, wow. Who's the dummy that was over that? That right there is the evidence. If I was trying her dumbness in court, Exhibit A. Only someone dumb would allow this border to be this wide open and still talking about the border is secure. So, you see the video clip of her saying that? You see that? Look at the border. She's dumb. No further questions. I rest my case. And all the jury be like, that's pretty dumb to me. I mean, that border is wide open. Let's continue.
Because she is currently in the White House and failing. Inflation is higher than it has been since before she took office. Housing is unaffordable. The southern border is open. We are in wars abroad. She is an absolute failure and she is dangerously liberal. And that is what we will prove tonight.
Wow.
If the position of the campaign is that she is incompetent and dumb, that is setting a bar somewhat for where things are, where you think the bar is tonight for Kamala Harris.
Absolutely incompetent on these issues.
Danielle Alvarez, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, tell her, Danielle. Now let's check and see. Yeah, let's get a little clip of Kamala Harris on the campaign trail where it is very staged and controlled to make her look like she's smart, witty, and likable. Yeah, and it comes across as completely fake and inauthentic. So here she is right here, guys, walking into some place where all the people love her and is crying.
Come here. What is that about? What is that about? I think you understand. I'm pretty sure you know. Oh, it's going to be good. We're going to be good.
Y'all see this shite? Y'all see this shite? So she just happened to walk in. I've noticed the crying lady right there. Ran right over to her. What is this? We're gonna be okay. She sounds horrible. She sounds like she said, "We did it, Joe.
We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine."
Yeah. Oh, here's another one. Look how likable she is, y'all. Look how hip and in touch she is. Now, she just happened to walk into a random record store. A random one. She's riding around in Secret Service car. She's like, you know what? I want to go in to that record store and get me some records. That's what I want. Well, ma'am, that's not on the schedule today. I don't care. Or is it that, Kamala, I think we can go ahead and put this together to make you look like you're, relatable. So we're going to send you into a record store. We're going to place the record in there because we don't want to run a risk of you going in there and not finding nothing. So we got to go in first and check, scout it, make sure the record's there and it's available. Even if it is, we might order it and just place it in there. And then you pretend you randomly just stopped and went into the record store. And look what you found. Look what you found. The record that you've been looking for. And then you get to come out and the press is right there. But now you got diarrhea of the mouth. You want to talk. Look at this.
So, okay, so you know music?
You know music?
First of all, Charlie Mingus, really one of the greatest jazz performers ever.
Just like Snoop Dogg and Tupac. Yeah, she knows her music.
My favorite albums of all time. Roy Ayers, Everybody Loves to Feel That the Future is Bright and that we will have a new president who will be elected and she will lead the nation with...
And that's probably how she conducts business right there. She probably does have one of those evil crystal ball. Probably as she's flying around the White House on her broom, as she's brewing up witch's brew, stirring up word salads for the day, chopping them up. At the end of the day, the mirror on the wall, hanging on the crystal balls, hoping the crystal ball will help her out.
Integrity and with a sense of fairness and justice, and she will be me.
So cheesy. So cheesy. But not only is she cheesy, so is her weirdo VP. He got the nerve to try to come out and be a surrogate, and it ended all bad as we close out for the night and get ready for the debate. So we done saw all of those surrogates for her attempt to try to polish up that turd. And then you send out a dirtier turd to polish up that turd, which is the weirdo. Here we go, y'all. Buckle up.
And I'm really disturbed by the fact that these siblings, brothers, have not spoken to each other for 8 years. And not only are they estranged, one is coming out against his brother who is running for the second highest office in the land and is saying, I 100% fundamentally, ideologically don't agree with him. That's fine.
That's because he knows he's a turd. Nobody, after getting done taking a dookie, want to reach back in the toilet and grab a turd. Flush that down, man. Okay, his brother know that even though he might be my brother, hey, even though a turd might come out of you, you don't touch it. You don't support it. You like, man, I can't support that. So he's a turd. And so his brother don't support him. And Sonny got a problem with that. She got a problem with that.
Fine, but as Tim Walz says, mind your own damn business then.
Oh yeah, mind your own business then. Okay, so now I want to see if this could possibly be a case of what? Hypocrisy. Here it comes.
If you don't agree with Tim Walz,
okay,
you don't agree with your brother, keep it to yourself and keep those family dynamics to yourselves. And I would be devastated if my son were in that position.
At the end of the story, though.
I just want to finish. Oh, sorry. If I'd be devastated if my son were in that position and my daughter would come out and say, I 100% am voting for his opponent. I can't see in my family that
When the brother put it on tape. Let me ask you this, because back in the 70s when you were a preteen.
What, is that Sonny talking to Trump's nephew who's on the show trashing Trump? And I'm sure Sonny's not going to contribute to that. She's not going to support a family member on TV trashing another family member running for office. Is she?
You write about hearing your uncle Donald Trump use the worst racial slur twice while ranting to you about his car being damaged. And you're not the first person to claim that Donald Trump trafficked in this kind of language, right? Though he continues to deny it. Do you have any doubt that you heard that slur?
You know what that sounds like to me? Hypocrisy! So it sounds like to me. So now all of a sudden, where's all of that? I can't believe a family member would get that. I think you should keep it in the closet. She should have been like, man, I can't believe you come on this show and trash your uncle like this. I won't be a part of this. Y'all can ask him questions or whatever, but I ain't participating because I don't support family members getting on TV trashing their family. See how quick that turned? I wonder if she even knows that clip is out there to highlight her hypocrisy. But let's see why maybe the brother don't want no parts of this turd.
Well, for some of you who don't know, I am Tim Walz, and I'm the governor of Minnesota right now. I like to make sure that I say that I was a school teacher for a lot of years, but right now I'm proud to be the running mate of the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Now look here, Homer head. This guy out there with that Homer Simpson head. Homer head, you talking out the side of your neck. Ain't gonna be no chameleon unless y'all do some shenanigans, which we got our eyeballs open on. So let's continue hearing from Homer head.
It's not going to happen. And she went on to become the Attorney General of the largest state in the country. And the moment it arrived, to defend marriage equality. And she threw her whole self into that fight. You know, Kamala Harris, she doesn't just pick these fights when she talks about it. And this is the thing to keep in mind. What? All she does is win.
All she do is win, win, win. Is that true?
All she does is win.
Since when?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have breaking news right now that we've just gotten. Kamala Harris is dropping out of the presidential race. We have just received that news right now. Kamala Harris, who is expected to be...
And she probably was like, I won. I'm the first one that dropped out. No, that's not a good thing in this case. Somebody tell her. It's you win when you actually are the last one. Oh, what? Yeah. First one. Drop out.
Making an announcement fairly shortly, but we can confirm now NBC has information that Kamala Harris is dropping out of her quest for the presidency.
And failing to connect to African Americans. Polling only 5% with black voters.
Now, how could that be back then? When now all of a sudden you got the news saying all the black people love her. Every single black person, I think she's adorable and popular, and they don't question her blackness, and they think she's very genuine. They support. So now she couldn't even, acquire the black vote. She was getting destroyed with the black. How did this change, y'all? Once again, like Malcolm the X said, the media could make you hate who you love and love who you hate. Now, a lot of polishing has taken place on that turd, and yet they still don't have her shining. Still to this day, a lot of black folks is going, Somebody said, I'm subscribing. Thank you, Joyce. But let's continue, though, because maybe it gets better with the woke weirdo defending her.
Compared to 43% for Biden.
All she does is win. She worked with President Biden on historic executive orders protecting folks from discrimination.
Like what?
And the reason she did it was pretty simple.
What?
Kamala Harris believes in equal justice under law.
Well, let's see.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
Look at her face.
She blocked evidence.
She got the stank face. She got the stank face right there. She got that, I wish I could choke this chick right here. I wish I could jump right across this thing. But she get beat up. She get beat up by Tulsi. Because she's actually tough. So Chameleon over there with the stank face, if you hit her with something like that, she's going to go to pieces.
Evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so.
Now, what are you writing? What are you doing over there? We all saw that clip. She didn't do nothing. Over there writing down stuff like she about to have this witty comeback, and all she did was, I'm very proud of my record as the district. That was it. I'm proud. You didn't explain why you did all of those things that Tulsi pointed out. You didn't say I didn't do that. Basically, she's telling the truth, but I'm proud of it. That was her response, and I'm hoping she have one of those moments tonight.
She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California.
Slaves.
And
slaves.
she fought to keep.
Look at her, shaking your head. Just because you shake your head, no, don't make it not true. You over sitting there like, no, don't do this to me. That's what you're saying. No, Tosi, don't do this to me. I always say, guys, when you're falling off a cliff, it doesn't matter how much you say no. Yeah, the results are going to be the same. So right now what she's doing is no. Yeah, so shaking her head no.
Cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
That was the end of her. You know that mouth was dry after that. Like, oh, this girl just ruined me. Look at this.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now look, if it sounds like a tall
Homer head is back. Hold on.
order, I'll say it again.
What?
I'm an eternal optimist. Think about this.
Think
when
about
I was a kid growing up in Nebraska, being gay was illegal. Still technically illegal.
As they
technically illegal.
Say, as my grandkids say, Google it.
We better Google it, Joe. Yeah. So being gay was technically illegal according to Homerhead. Now, notice Homerhead constantly seems to be revolving around the LGBTQ. He's always in the location. You know, you ever met somebody, you're like, man, why you always, somehow I keep finding you at this whorehouse? And you're around it too much. Didn't I see you come out walking past there? You always there? Every time I go down the street, somehow you find yourself right around him. Yeah, things like that. Or why are you always, as a grown man, hanging around the playground? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Stuff like that make me suspicious. So he's always talking about the LGBT. That's one of his main issues that he's focused on, along with women's reproductive rights. So let's go ahead and hear what he got to say, because he's talking about that back in the day, it was illegal and all this stuff. So Joe had to come in and say, Google it. So let's see, same-sex marriage, he said, it's pretty much still like that. It's illegal in Nebraska. In Nebraska, okay. Oh, yes, Nebraska has recognized same-sex marriage since June 26, 2015. Wow. Now look at that. Why is he saying it's pretty much still the same way? Interesting. Still lying, huh?
Still technically illegal. So when Jake asked if I'd be interested in being the advisor to the Gay Straight Alliance, I said absolutely.
Absolutely, because that's my thing. Absolutely. I don't want to seem too excited. Did I come across too excited? Yeah. Well, of course you would. Of course, because this is the same guy back in the day when he was teaching. He wanted to start an after-school program for the LGBTQ for kids. Out of all the after-school programs, some reason this dude wanted to start that program. What? Is that a normal thing a coach, a tough guy would do? A man's man? Huh? Hey, I think it'd be good for men. Start a LGBTQ. What would y'all talk about? What would you talk about? What would be your involvement in that, weirdo Tim? Would you be sitting in, facilitating? Or would you be probing the minds of young men and women? Huh? I don't trust this guy. He's creepy. So he said that he would be over that whatever. And guess what else he said?
I understood what it meant to be that older, straight
gay guy? That older, undercover gay, I'm sorry, that older, white, straight guy.
White guy who was coaching football. Older, straight.
We better take a look. Uh-oh. Oh, that wrist. That wrist. Tighten it up. Somebody tighten it up. Hold it, because if you let it go, as soon as you let it go, that's what he needs. He needs a wrist holder. Walking beside him every time he comes out on stage. As soon as he go into that, hi everybody. There you go, just like that. I'm gonna let you go now, okay? Don't go back to see? No, go back to, there you go. So here he is. Hi everybody. So let's see. Look at that. Look at all those manly mannerisms. Yeah. Hi everyone. Surprised he didn't come out to some techno. grab his wrist. Somebody get it. Oh, God. See, when you're too involved in something like this, you got to ask yourself, what's your motivation? When you're too involved. Like, okay, you could support something, but like you're full-blown involved, like committed. And you don't have to hate or support the LGBTQ community. I mean, you can be neutral. This guy, for some reason, he's extremely involved. Okay, dressing his dog up. Did you see the picture where he had the kids that's, had LGBT letters on their shirt and saying Walz? I mean, he's involving kids. He's focusing on legislation that for some reason encourages kids to move in a certain direction. These are the things that this guy, for some reason, focuses on. And it bothers me. It makes me go, what are you up to? Most guys don't make it their mission to be this involved in something like this. And here's the thing. If he got some undercover secret life, that's on him. But he's trying to play like, first of all, I'm just this committed. I mean, this is a serious issue that I just felt the need to be that involved in. It doesn't apply to me, but I'm just that committed and involved. Most of the time, if things don't apply to you, you don't have the passion for it. You know, I mean, there's certain things out there I go, that's just not something I find to be, I'm not interested in helping the kids that, are suffering from, whatever. And I'm going, well, I don't wish bad on the kids. I hope that works out, but I'm not going to go ahead and spend time on Saturday. I'm not going to be going to meetings and, getting on board stuff. I'm not going to do that. There's certain things that I'm going, and, if these are important things for policies and for people across the country, everybody, if I'm a governor, then yeah. See, and that's the problem I have with the whole Democrat Party. They focus on these little groups, but when I see guys like this get this involved, he was an OG. He was involved before he, blew up. He was a teacher. This is before he became a governor and had any motivation to, do this for, identity politics. He was doing this because it was in the bone. So maybe his brother has some validity to it. But this guy says he's an old white straight man. Look at that stance. Hey, I'm here. That's what that says. Hi, everybody. That is a weird guy. Look at that. Oh, okay. Wow. He almost picked up the other gentle beta male, chameleons has been almost picked him up, spun him around like they were on a beach. Surprising to pick him up and spin him around with his feet up like that. You know what I'm saying? Spin him around like, yay. But wait, let's see how he greets his wife though. Hey, you, come here, you. All right, you're okay, I guess. There you go. Stay over there. Stay over there. How you doing, friend? Hey there, buddy, old pal. Oh, whoa, let me back up off of you.
Think about that.
Gives me the willies.
We get up there and we just do this big bro bear hug. And I cannot tell you how many texts I got from my actual friends and actual family members like, you never hugged me like that.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't. Now he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going in. He's at Joe Biden. Joe Biden's like, here's my chance. Uh-huh. Ah, yeah. Oh, I got to hug my wife, too. Whew. Okay. Here you go. Ooh, yeah. You're great. Now go over there. Go over there. Back to you. Yay. So let's continue.
I understood what it meant to be that older, straight, white guy.
Bullshit.
Thank you, Trump. And sometimes your gut is right. Now, like I said, I'm poking fun and all of that stuff. Like I said, whatever he got going on. But when you're in legislation, when you are, somebody like this, who this is such a big part of your agenda, and you're just pretending you just got a, some type of passion for it for no reason, just because you just feel like this is an important, issue that's going on. Nobody's hating against the LGBT people. I mean, they're just trying to force their way more into mainstream, and because there isn't an overwhelming amount of just not just acceptance, but cheering it on, jumping on board, they pretend that they're constantly under oppression and attacks. And it gives this guy some type of, reason to say, well, this is my plight and I'm going to support this community. And if that's what he's doing, that's his choice. I don't care. But he also mixes in a lot of policies that pertain to kids dealing with the LGBT and transgender community. And see, that's where I start going. Now, when you start targeting kids, you become weird. See, that's where the ism come in. Yeah, if y'all want to kick it as adults, have whatever type of parties, whatever type of stuff you do as an adult, fine. But this guy is in a position to legislate things. And if he becomes VP, that even gives him more power. So if you got some motivation and deep down on the inside, you ain't letting nobody know about, okay? And it includes our kids or legislation that will force things upon society that society says, look, I'm not against, but don't shove it down my throat. Whereas in this guy's case, he seems like that's not enough. We need to go forward. We need to be pioneers. We need to shove all of this down, not only society's throats, but the kids' throats. That's what puts him in the weirdo category. Big time. So, yeah, he's a horrible surrogate, horrible VP pick. And guess what else? The fact that she picked him means she's stupid. Ta-da! I've went ahead and tried the case of stupidity for Kamala Harris. All right. She picked that weirdo. She's stupid. So God bless y'all. God bless America. We got about another 20 minutes or so before it all goes down, man. Ding! I want to see it. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Y'all, somebody said I'm amazing. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing as well. Thanks for all those that subscribed. And please make sure you set your notifications to all. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. And we'll probably be talking about the shenanigans that's about to take place in a few minutes. So thanks again. Let's get out of here. Don't forget, text MAGA to this number and check out Kevin's Corner Store. And if you want to support the channel through my Cash App or PayPal, you can do that as well. God bless. All right, let's get out of here. Oh, yeah, I'm excited. Ding! Ring that bell. What? Yeah. Tear up the place, yeah. Take care.